The NFL just dropped a bomb on American football fans, and the fallout is absolutely explosive. As the league prepares to kick off a record breaking 9 international games across 7 countries and 4 continents starting next month, the backlash from fans, analysts, and even current NFL legends has reached a fever pitch. And at the center of it all is one question: who is the NFL really playing for anymore? Let's set the stage. The 2026 NFL season is about to make history, but not the kind of history American fans wanted. From September 10th through November 22nd, NFL teams will be playing games in Melbourne, Rio de Janeiro, London, Paris, Madrid, Munich, and Mexico City. 9 games, 7 countries, 4 continents. It's the most ambitious international slate the league has ever attempted, and it's sparking a civil war between American fans who feel abandoned and international fans who are celebrating like they just won the Super Bowl. The first shot across the bow came from CBS analyst and 3-time Defensive Player of the Year J.J. Watt. In May, Watt took to social media and didn't mince words. The international game slate is nearing the realm of traveling circus as opposed to occasional showcase. A traveling circus, those are fighting words from one of the most respected voices in football. And Watt isn't some hot take artist looking for clicks. He's a guy who played at the highest level, understands what it takes to win, and knows exactly what these international trips do to teams. But the numbers behind this circus are even more staggering. Take the San Francisco 49ers. They're the poster children for everything that's wrong with this international push. The Niners will travel an NFL record 38,105 miles this season. Let that sink in. 38,000 miles. That's enough to circle the globe 1.5 times. They're playing in Australia in Week 1 and Mexico City in Week 11. And head coach Kyle Shanahan, he's not hiding his frustration. Shanahan publicly stated he does not see any benefits for his team to play internationally. Zero benefits. That's the head coach of one of the league's premier franchises, essentially saying this is hurting his team's chances to compete. And this is where the anger from American fans really starts to make sense. These aren't just inconveniences. They're competitive disadvantages. Teams lose home games, which means they lose home field advantage. Season ticket holders are paying full freight for their packages, but they're getting one fewer home game. Local businesses that depend on game day revenue are getting crushed. Stadium workers, the vendors, security staff, parking attendants are losing shifts and paychecks. One NFL home game generates approximately $5 to $10 million in ticket sales alone, plus another $2 to $5 million in concessions and merchandise. That's real money disappearing from local economies. The sentiment from American fans has been brutal. Social media is flooded with anger. One user on social media captured the mood perfectly. "Thanks, NFL. Thank you for the international games nobody asked for." That line has been echoed thousands of times across platforms. Fans are asking the obvious question: who actually wanted this? Because it sure wasn't them. But here's where the story gets even more complicated and more controversial. In May, NFL owners met and approved not just continuing this international expansion, but accelerating it. Starting in 2027, the league will play 10 international games per season. 10. And here's the kicker. Owners also eliminated teams' ability to protect any home games from being moved internationally. Previously, teams could protect 2 games and keep them in their home stadium no matter what. That protection is gone. Every home game is now on the table. So let's talk about what this really means. The NFL is making a calculated bet. They're betting that the growth potential in international markets, the television deals, the merchandise sales, the expansion of the brand is worth more than the goodwill of American fans who have supported this league for a century. They're betting that American fans will grumble, but ultimately keep watching, keep buying tickets, keep filling stadiums. And they're betting that international fans will become a revenue stream that dwarfs anything the domestic market can produce long term. And you know what? The international side of this divide is absolutely thrilled. Fans in Australia, Brazil, the UK, France, Spain, Germany, and Mexico are celebrating. For them, this isn't a traveling circus, it's a dream come true. They're getting to see live NFL football without flying halfway around the world. They're getting prime matchups, not preseason scrimmages. The first game in Melbourne features the San Francisco 49ers and Los Angeles Rams, two playoff caliber teams with star power and storylines. That's a statement game, not a throwaway. International fans have been begging for this level of access for years, and now they're getting it. From their perspective, American fans sound like spoiled children complaining about having too much of a good thing. They see a league that's finally recognizing there's a massive, underserved global appetite for American football, and they're here for every second of it. But let's be real about the costs. The competitive integrity of the league is taking a hit. Teams are being asked to play home games thousands of miles away in unfamiliar stadiums in time zones that wreak havoc on their bodies and routines. The 49ers playing in Australia means they're dealing with jet lag, disrupted sleep schedules, and all the physical toll that comes with that kind of travel. Right at the start of the season, when every team is supposed to be fresh and healthy, and they have to do it again later in the season with Mexico City. How is that fair? And what about the fans who have been there from the beginning, the season ticket holders who've supported their teams through losing seasons, rebuilds, and heartbreak? They're being told essentially that their loyalty matters less than the league's global ambitions. They're paying the same price for one fewer home game, and they're supposed to just accept it because the NFL wants to plant a flag in Rio or Madrid. The stadium workers and local businesses have it even worse. They don't have the option to just tune in on TV and call it good enough. When a home game disappears, their income disappears with it. The bartender at the sports bar 3 blocks from the stadium loses a shift. The parking lot attendant loses a day's wages. The food vendor loses their cut of concessions. Multiply that across thousands of workers, and you're talking about millions of dollars being pulled out of local economies and redistributed to international markets. That's not just a business decision. That's a restructuring of who benefits from the NFL's success. So where does this leave us? The NFL is charging full speed ahead into a global future, and they're dragging American fans along whether they like it or not. J.J. Watt's traveling circus comment isn't just a catchy soundbite. It's a warning. When you prioritize spectacle and expansion over competitive integrity and fan loyalty, you risk turning the sport into something unrecognizable. International fans are winning this fight right now. They're getting more games, better matchups, and more attention from the league. American fans are losing home games, losing economic benefits, and losing the sense that the NFL actually cares about their concerns. And the divide between those two groups is only going to get wider as the league ramps up to 10 international games next year and potentially more beyond that. The first game kicks off in Melbourne on September 10th, and it's going to set the tone for everything that follows. Will the 49ers look jet-lagged and sluggish after traveling across the Pacific? Will the atmosphere in Melbourne live up to the hype? Will American fans tune in at odd hours to watch their teams play halfway around the world? Or will they start tuning out in protest? One thing is certain. The NFL has made its choice. The future is international, and American fans are going to have to decide whether they're coming along for the ride or getting off at the next stop. The backlash is real, the anger is justified, and the consequences of this decision are going to play out over the next decade. This isn't just about 9 games this season. It's about the direction of the entire league and who it's ultimately serving. The traveling circus is coming to town, and the show is about to begin.